And while we're on the topic of defensemen, guys, a huge milestone for Zdeno Chara this week with his 1600th NHL game. A lot of heavy minutes logged by Big Z, and of course a championship won by him as well. I mean, Jonesy, put into perspective what this milestone is for 42-year-old Zdeno Chara.
I love the guy, man. I love everything he's done throughout his career. He continues to impress me on a nightly basis. I think the Capitals are a better team this year, and Chara's got a lot to do with that. He solidified their blue line like he has done for every blue line that he's played on. Incredibly fit athlete who just continues to find ways to be a productive player, a responsible player, and a fabulous human being. So he's one of my favorites of all time. So happy to see that he's still going, and I hope he plays another 5 years.
You say 1,600 games, KT? Back when he gets to 1,700 like Patrick Marleau. No, all jokes aside. No, Big Z, echo exactly what Jonesy said. He brings a lot to the table. I think the Boston Bruins miss him. Even though he's not going to play or he doesn't play as much as he has in the past, I think that voice and that presence in the room and on the blue line is certainly missed by the Boston Bruins. You know, they've got Miller on the back end who brings some toughness to the table. I don't think his knees will be able to hold up, but Big Z's been tremendously durable over the course of his career. So I'd like to see him hoist Lord Stanley's Cup again in Washington if he gets an opportunity. He's one of the best individuals in the league.
Storyline from this week, surpassing Gordie Howe for the most games played all time, an incredible milestone, and then a very emotional Patrick Marleau. I mean, Ace, I had a hard time watching some of his pregame and postgame interviews because he got very choked up, and rightfully so. This is a long career he's played with many different players across the board, a lot of sacrifices from his family at home to allow him to be playing this great game that he loves, and it was just great to see the passion that he still has for the game, saying he still wants to continue to play, but also the acknowledgement of players around the league that gave him a nod on that milestone day.
Patty's very well respected. I played with him on Team Canada. If he wasn't breathing, you wouldn't know he was still alive in the locker room. He's so quiet, he's so low maintenance, but he's such a great, humble person. And he does love the game. That's the only reason why he could play this long, KT, because you got to think about all the time, the preparation that goes into getting ready to play the regular season. The training, getting up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning and putting your body through all that stress just to get ready to play those games. I knew when it was time for me to retire because I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that anymore. So the fact that he still embraces that and loves that, it came through in those words. He couldn't hold back that emotion because you could tell he truly loves being an NHL player.
Well said, Ace. I mean, there's not a lot left to say about Patrick Marleau. I think that last week really said everything. And I would agree with both of you guys. Very impressive how he handled things. It was great to see how emotional he was, mostly because of the response from other players that have played in the National Hockey League and the guys that he's playing against right now. And he's played against most guys that have played in the National Hockey League. It's 37% of the players that ever played in the NHL Marleau played against. So he has earned the respect that he's been given by not only the way he's played the game, but the way that he's presented himself on and off the ice.
And he's one of the few players in the league still, Jonesy, that you actually played against. Is that correct?
Yeah, you talked about two of them. Zdeno Chara was another one too. So, and Joe Thornton's still going. So let's keep those guys going.